spin. Didn't spin. Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today. This is my tailor-made rack 60-degree wedge. I'm about 65 yards out from the pin, and the last time I hit a golf ball was in the last video I made out here where I was hitting golf balls, which has been a couple months ago. I really miss playing golf. I love the game of golf. I can play fairly well when I'm playing and active, and those of you that are golfers know all about that. You set the golf clubs down, you get a little rusty. So, you know, I'm gonna take full advantage of this Bermudagrass while I've got it out here. So I'm gonna run some things by you and ask for some ideas. So that's not too bad. Had a couple short, and then about 3 went a little bit long, but let's give it another go and see what happens. All right, so you're down there with the green. I'm back up here about 65 yards out, and let's see what happens. Looks pretty good, a little left. Oh, I pulled that bad. That's left of the green. That's spot on right there. Go in! A little right, I flicked that one. Whoops, I hit that fat. How do you hit it fat off a mat? That ain't bad right there. Oh, stop. Same shot. Short. Ah. Golf is such a funny game. A little left. All right, got 2 more. Need to get dialed in right here. Boy, it looks good. That's all over it. All over it. Oh, snap. All right, last ball. Not bad, but not. I'll take it. Not too bad. I'll take that. That's not terrible, considering I don't get to play that much. 3 kids and working all the time, it just don't happen, bruh. So this Tip Tough Bermuda, been keeping the green around 1/8 of an inch, and the rest of it is up around 1 inch now. I want to do something a little bit different with it. I kind of got this vision of you know, like a full-blown golf green fairway look type thing in my mind. I got a couple ideas I want to run by you and let you give me some feedback, because you're the people watching the videos. You're the folks who watch the videos and then maybe try it in your yard, or, you know, see what's possible or whatever. So it's not just for me, okay? I'm not doing this just for me. I'm doing it so you can watch and enjoy and make fun of me or whatever it is you want to do. I don't care. I could care less what you do. So I want some feedback from you. So I'm going to give it a quick mow, and then I'm going to talk you through some of the ideas I got, and then you can chime in and let me know what you think. And before I mow it, I had a question in an earlier video. You know how to go from a higher cut turf down to a short cut turf. I've showed you that. And the question was, Pete, how do you get this back to normal cutting height? How do you get it back to regular mowing height and not those super short height of cuts? That's a very simple answer, and it's actually easier to do that than it is the other. You just don't mow it. I mean, it's plain and simple. I won't bring that little small reel mower out here anymore this year. I will just let the green grow. I may put a little 505 on it every now and then to kind of encourage it a little bit, but you want to be careful of that because we're getting toward the end of the season for Bermuda, so I don't want to put too much nitrogen in the plant going that late in the season. But I don't mind spoon feeding it just a little bit to encourage it. I just won't cut it. I won't mow it. I'll ride over it with the mower as I'm mowing the rest of the yard, but the blades won't be low enough to actually cut this turf. So what if it doesn't grow and get back up even with the rest of the yard as far as the height of cut goes before it goes dormant? Well, I could care less. That kind of stuff really don't bother me. It's just grass. All right, so one thing I am gonna do is I'm gonna make the golf green a touch bigger than it is right now. And it's gonna kind of come out maybe to about halfway out in the yard. And of course I'll decorate it this time a little better and give it some character and put a few little curves in it and stuff like that. And then it's going to wrap kind of around here like so and tie back in to the right edge of the green. So it'll be a little bit bigger. I'm going to guess, I'm going to say that's probably about 50% bigger maybe. No, actually that's probably going to double the size of it. Almost double the size of it. Now, one way I'm able to get away with this is next spring I'm going to buy one of those outlet battery mowers that I showed you in the previous video. You know, remember the scalp area in the bluegrass? I'm going to buy one of those for out here. The reason is that's a lot of area to mow with that little small push manual push mower, the Hudson Star. And mowing it every day, I just ain't got that kind of time to keep up with it. Even with it regulated, I'm busy. So I'm gonna make life a little easier and use a powered mower. And I'm gonna go with that outlet battery mower because I can cut it really, really short. So all good golf greens needs a collar or fringe. And I'm gonna kind of come in here and create a fringe, and it'll kind of follow the outside edge of the green all the way around and kind of go like this right here. And then when we get over here to the edge, it'll kind of tie back into the natural area or the bed area. Whew, that's gonna look good. I like that. Now, if I maintain the green at an 1/8 inch, I'll maintain the fringe or the collar, whatever you want to call it. The fringe, the strip will run outside at a 1/2 inch. And then the rest of this, we'll call it fairway, and I'll maintain it at 1 inch. So it'll be 1 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/8 inch. I think that contrast will look pretty cool. Again, yeah, it's a yard. I get it. It's a front yard, but Bermuda has so many cool attributes about it, and one of those is that height of cut. Man, you can cut that stuff down to the ground, or you can cut it up around 3 or 4 inches. So there's a lot of variety you get with Bermuda as far as mowing goes. All right, so the next thing we need to talk about, and this is where I kind of need your input, is I have one or two options. I can continue using the Tiff Tuff and get it down to an 1/8, regulate, mow, and I can keep it down there. And I don't, earlier I tried to get it to a 10 on the green speed. Not sure I'll ever get it to a 10, but I'm not as concerned with that right now as I am just having a cool front yard, you know what I'm saying? Even though it rolled at what did we get it to, an 8 or so, and it was super smooth at 8, so that's not too bad. But the question is, should I keep the Tiff Tuff or come in here and sod cut the green out, bring in some topsoil sand mix and seed it with like a dwarf Bermuda variety or ultra dwarf Bermuda variety? And what those are varieties that have been genetically changed, enhanced, or whatever, so that they can be mowed super, super tight and still roll good for really nice putting greens. So, it wouldn't be a ton of work. I could just sod cut this and give the sod away to somebody who needs it, and then come in here and do some re-leveling and then I don't know if those ultra dwarf varieties or dwarf varieties come in a grass seed, or if they come as sprigs or sod. I'd have to kind of do some homework on that. But that would probably also play into it. And if I had to sod all this again, probably wouldn't mess with it. Sprigging wouldn't be too bad. Seeding, obviously, is pretty easy. Now, if we do go that way and we do an ultra dwarf or dwarf variety right here, we can have a really nice putting green. Now, granted, I will not go through all the trouble and build a sand base and all that kind of stuff. I'm just not going to do that, okay? I don't have that kind of time. But we could plant that on a topsoil sand mix, and be as deep as the sod cutter cuts this other out. And that would work for me. It'd be just fine. If we done that, we could also put some undulation in the green, meaning we could build it up in the middle or build it up on the edges or whatever we saw fit or whatever we thought would work good. Of course, we want the water to still drain that way, but you could put some very subtle rolls in it so that when you're putting, you get a little bit of that breakage and that kind of thing. So that's one option. Option number two is obviously to leave it just like it is, but cut it short so we can putt on it, chip on it, that kind of thing. Downfall to adding undulation is I'm not gonna work my entire life, okay? I probably got a good 20 years left of working, and once I do that, I'm gonna retire and I'm going to quit working, or at least I think I'm gonna quit working. And I'll probably sell all this or give it to my kids to run or something like that. So I have to think for the future as well. Would it be smart to change the grade by adding undulation to the golf green for someone in the future? Someone else may come in this building and they may paint cabinets. I don't know. They may do whatever out of these buildings, and they may just use this for their front yard. Is it smart to leave them with some roly-poly hills to mow? Does that make sense what I'm saying? And along with that, two different Bermuda varieties. They'll have an ultra dwarf here and tip tuff here, and they may be the person, and whoever ends up buying it, a ways from now, they may end up being the person that wants a really nice uniform yard, and they don't want two different varieties. So it's a lot to think about, and that's why I wanted to make this video to get your input and see what you think. I know a lot of superintendents or greenskeepers or people with a lot of knowledge about Bermuda and golf courses and that kind of thing watch some of these videos. So I'm gonna lean on what you say. I'm not the cat's meow when it comes to golf course superintendent type stuff. So that's why I need to ask and get some input from you guys. So I think it's a cool little project. Obviously it'll be a next year project, but I want to kind of get the ball rolling on it as far as what's going on in my mind so I can think about it and figure out exactly what I want to do out here. So I look forward to reading the comments below, and I'll go through every single one of them and check it out and see what you guys have to say about it. And as always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. I'll check you later. And let's go and get the cup pulled back out, if I can get it out. There we go. And you can see that the piece of turf that come out of it, it's been sitting in my office for at least 2 months. So we're going to see how this does. Kind of wiggle it back down in there. I think you pull this part up. How do you do this? So it looks like my plug is stuck in there. I'm gonna probably have to go get some water and put some water in this and let it soak a little bit, let it loosen up, and then it'll come back out. But this ground in here is rock hard. This done got super dry and it won't even budge it. So I'll put some water in here and let that be soaking. And I was able to get this broke loose. She ain't looking too good, is she? That's what happens when you stay indoors for 2 or 3 months, you know what I mean? So we'll leave that right there, and we'll see if it grows back in and fills back in. I'm sure it will. Bermuda's like that gift, it just keeps on giving.